Welcome to round 3 of the Global Innovation Challenge. We're very excited you're here, and we're very excited to be here with you today. My name is Julie Shively, and I'm the founder of Innovation World and the co-founder of the Global Innovation Challenge. I want to congratulate every one of you for making it to the finals. You've worked hard to get here. Some of you have gone through school level, local level, regional level, state level, and national level competitions to get here. And so it's amazing, and it's super exciting, and we can't wait to hear what you have to talk about today. So I want to thank our esteemed international judges for joining us today, and I'd like to give them an opportunity really quickly to introduce themselves, tell us what organization you are with, and where you are. And Susie, do you want to start?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Best of luck. I'm Susie Murphy. I'm director of Kid Invent Mentor. It is a company that provides support for kid innovators. If you're curious about innovation, or like all of you who have products that you're interested in maybe bringing to market, we support you step by step to doing that. And the skills are transferable to other projects you may have in the future. So love to help if you ever are in need. And I am in Seattle, Washington, and best of luck.
Thank you. Warren?
Hi everyone, I'm Warren Wilson. I'm an inventor from Australia, and I'm here really just because I remember when I was a kid and I used to love making stuff, and I used to love being an inventor. So working with you kids reminds me of how exciting inventing is and what it's all about. And I'm really here just to, I'm obviously, you can tell I'm a little older than a lot of the people here. So I've got a lot of experience of inventing, what to do, how to make it work. I've got a lot of experience on how not to make inventing work, and I'm just here to help you kids out, in whatever way I can, just to turn your dreams into reality, because I think everybody deserves that opportunity. So thank you.
And did you say where you were from, Warren? Oop.
Australia, the land of the kangaroos.
There you go. Susie, don't worry about your background. I can't use one. You saw I look like a ghost. Something happened to my camera. So backgrounds are the least important. The most important thing are these students sitting here today. Arturo.
Hello, hola a todos. I am Arturo Mendez. I am from Monterrey, Mexico. I'm a professor at Tecnológico de Monterrey, a university system over here in Mexico. I am I'm a maker. I'm also an innovation project coach. And but most important, I am your big fan.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, so I want to run down the schedule really quickly. We're going to do presentations one at a time. This is the order they're going to go in unless we have some kind of technical trouble. Need a hand goes first, Pitching Pro second, Answer Buttons version 2.0 goes third, the Dial-S is fourth, the PAU is fifth. If we have some kind of technical difficulties, we might move people around to allow somebody to have a chance to fix their technical issue. Everybody has 3 minutes to present. When you get within 30 seconds of the end of that 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a 30-second warning. You can go over, but that's going to eat up part of your question and answer time, which is just as important as the presentation. So keep that in mind. Most of you have practiced these presentations long enough to probably time it right on 3 minutes. So you'll have that 5 minutes then for questions and answers from the judges. They'll be short questions. I know these judges really would love to spend an hour with each of you, but they can't. So they'll ask short questions. I'll call on them one at a time to do it. If they get all the way, each one has a question they get through, then we have more time, they can ask more questions. But much of the feedback you get from the judges, you're going to find will come after today. After the awards ceremony, you'll receive an email that has pretty extensive feedback from the judges that we'll do in deliberation after presentations are over, so that you'll get more out of it than you are even going to today. So don't feel bad, judges. You'll have more time to provide that feedback later. During the 5-minute question and answer, if it gets within 30 seconds, again, I will give you a warning. And after that time's up, we just have to stop and move on to the next person because we have a schedule to keep. if we have time at the end and still there's question time, we'll allow students to ask questions, but we usually run out of time with the judges. So, and after all presentations have been completed, I will leave with the judges to a separate Zoom where we'll deliberate, they'll talk about the different presentations today and try to determine which ones will be recipients of some of the awards, or at least make recommendations for that. And Ting, who has her camera off right now, will host after that, but you guys will be able to drop off or go back to attendees and watch from there, whichever you'd like to do. So with that, if you're ready, Bo and Stephen, you're up. I'm gonna get my stopwatch ready, and you have 3 minutes. As soon as you put that presentation up there, that's when I'll start your timer. All right.
Hi.
And
Hi, I'm Bo Becky.
And I'm Stephen Kerr.
We live in Norwalk, Connecticut, and we go to Rayton Elementary School.
A few months ago, I dislocated and fractured my arm during a sledding accident. Once that happened, I had to wear a cast. And because of that, I couldn't hold my paper and it slipped around a lot on my desk. This made me mad because I couldn't understand my writing and neither could my teachers. That's why we created the Need a Hand.
The problem: it is hard to write with one hand because the paper moves. The process: invent a way to prevent the paper from moving when you write with one hand. The solution: we invented a device that stops the paper from moving when you write with one hand. Prototype 1. Prototype 1 had one major flaw. The clips touched the table and made the device unstable. Prototype 1 was made out of a dry erase board, 2 chip clips, and 4 non-slip grips. Our solution to that was we would add blocks to elevate the board. Prototype 2. Prototype 2 also had a problem. The blocks would slide on the table. Our solution to that was add new grips to the blocks. Prototype 3, the final prototype.
Results and testimonials. Many people tried this invention, but one of these people is very important. He's my orthopedist. He's the one who cares for my arm. He said that his clients, it'd be very helpful if his clients could use this invention, and this is a really good invention. The opportunity. 6 million people break a bone every year in the US. The most common is a broken wrist. Average cast time for a broken wrist is 7 weeks. 7 weeks of missed schoolwork is detrimental to learning. Other people who can use our invention: anyone with a physical impairment to the arm or hand, people who suffer arthritis can use our invention, and young children learning to write. Those are all people who can use our invention. Our closest competitor is a company called ErgoWrite, but has 2 major flaws. Those 2 major flaws is that it is slanted, which makes it really uncomfortable because your hand has to get cocked back, and when it's in a cast, that's really uncomfortable. And the second is that there's only one clip and it's at the top, so when you get down to the bottom,
8 seconds.
The paper slips around a lot.
The go-to market strategy. The go-to market strategy for us is to file for an IP on our design, creating a strong moat around our product. The estimated cost to manufacture the Need a Hand is $12. We will sell to schools and doctors' offices. The retail for ErgoWrite is $100 and the Need a Hand $50. We will make the device available for rent and accessible to all. Thank you for listening.
Do you have any questions?
That was perfect timing. Okay, why don't we go ahead, and Susie, do you want to start with your question first?
Sure. Good job, boys. My question is, so if you have a broken arm, do you need help clipping your paper, or can you do it with your other good arm? Have you thought through that?
With our chip clips,
Well, so
they're
we
like
think with your chip clips, so these are really easy to move and
Okay.
manipulate. So we think that these chip clips would work and you can do it like one-handed. Because you still have your fingers with the cast and you should be able to use them. But if you can't, you still have your other arm.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Warren, do you want to go next?
I'd love to go next, Julie. you guys, that was a wonderful presentation. Like I really don't have any questions at the moment, but I have a couple of things to say that, in my opinion, really worked. One of the things that really worked was that your story was engaging. Like from your very first words, I was engaged and I wanted to hear what you had to say. And if you want to get people involved in your project, that's really important. And the other thing, a couple of other things, the way you had the prototype, like you developed your prototypes and you explained how you went from one to the other, you solved the problems, that shows persistence. That's a really key thing. And the other, and you did your market research like that. You did it really simply, and that was really powerful. And another really great bonus was the testimonial from an authority person. Like you went to a person who knows all about how useful this product is. They tried it out and they gave you a testimonial like that. That is really, really, truly powerful. So to be honest, I just loved Stephen Bow. I loved your presentation. I thought it was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Arturo?
Yes, awesome presentation and pitch. Good work, kids. My question is the following. You identified your competitor and actually like that it has like some major flaws. But let's speak about the advantages of Need a Hand besides the retail price, which is, I think, is like really good. What would you say like is like the major advantages over competition besides the price?
Well, like instead of like having to slant your wrist, you get to rest it on the board because it's raised up, and it's a lot easier in the hand position to just write like this.
Yeah.
And it works a lot better than having to like write like this.
Like, for example, if you have a paper on it, well, okay, if you have paper on it, you can write really easily because it's on the table, and the non-slip grips make it so it can't move, and it's really comfortable to have your cast laying like this. But since your wrist gets caught back, you'll have a really big mark right here on your wrist from it being back like this all the time.
Very good, thank you.
Susie, do you have another question?
I do
Yep.
have another one if there's time.
Okay.
I'm a lefty. Will your product work with lefty as well? Because most of the products are designed for right-handed people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it will
So
work.
one of the things that we were actually thinking is that you can get your Need a Hand customized. So you can get your Need a Hand customized. So you can make it however you wanted, the size and the weight. You could also get it monogrammed. So you could like put maybe the alphabet on the bottom for younger students who are learning to write. And they'd use that for reference. And
Awesome features. And when do I do that? When ordering, do I actually specify those things?
yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. We have about 45 seconds left. Either one of the other judges have another question or comment they'd like to?
Yeah, Stephen and Bo, where are you at? Have you got people who are interested in kind of going the next step with you and working out how to market it or sell it, or where are you guys at?
We don't know yet
We don't
right
know
now.
yet. Thinking it over.
Cool. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, boys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thanks for hosting.
Okay. Next up on our agenda is Pitching Pro by Michaela Messina.
Okay, we're going to share screens really quick.
Hold on just a second. Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
everybody see?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, my name is Michaela Messina. I live in Fairfield, Connecticut in the United States of America, and this is my invention, the Pitching Pro. So I am a softball pitcher, which means that I have to pitch a ball as hard as I can to a batter to try to strike them out. And if you look to the left of my slide, you'll see exactly what I do. So The problem was before a game or scrimmage, the fielders would have the infield, so the pitchers would have to warm up in the outfield where there was no set distance for where you had to pitch at. So the coaches would either try to use a visual to measure it out or use their feet, which would be very inaccurate. So when I went to go pitch in the actual game, I wouldn't be pitching correctly. So that's why I made my invention the Pitching Pro. So all you have to do is bring it to the outfield, pull the string out to the according distance that you need based on how old you are. And then once you have that, you just let it go right back into the invention like it's not even there. So when I was trying to solve this problem, I came up with 3 prototypes. My first prototype, which had 35 feet of retractable string inside, and that met the criteria that I needed in the spring, because that's where I pitched at the time. But now that I'm in the fall, I pitch from 40 feet, which led me to make my second prototype. My second prototype has 3 different measurements inside. It has 35 feet, 40 feet, and 43 feet. Those are the 3 different measurements of a pitcher. 35 feet is for 10U and younger, 40 feet is for 11U to high school, and 43 feet is high school and older. So when I was using this and the other pitchers that I got my feedback from, we came to a conclusion that it was too thick and it wasn't durable enough. So then when we were pitching, it would bother us and that could lead us to messing up when we were pitching. So then I made my third and final prototype. It has all the 3 different measurements inside, but it's nice and thin and durable, like my first prototype. So we also did some research and we looked on Google, Amazon, US Patents, sporting goods stores, and other websites. And we found out that none of these places had anything just like my invention. And I was also thinking about it, and coaches, leagues, schools, and individual pitchers might need this invention too. Lastly, I did some
30 seconds.
I did some research, and there are 2 million softball players in the US alone, and about 1/4 of them are softball pitchers. That's a lot of pitchers that might need my invention. Thank you.
Well done. And I think our judges are ready for questions.
Yes, we are ready for questions.
Okay.
Michaela, thank you. What a wonderful presentation. Thank you. It was gripping. I was really engaged by your personality and the way you approach it. And obviously you love softball.
Thank you.
But my question is that have other kids and other coaches and that tried your product? What are their thoughts on it?
So I actually brought my third prototype to a game that I had on Thursday, and 2 of the pitchers on my team used it, and they both said it was really good. They loved using it, and it was really helpful. So, and we also asked the other team, and the pitchers said that they would use it. They thought it was a really good idea, and they just loved it. So.
Oh, thank you. Actually, just one more quick question. Maybe a suggestion is that to promote your product, have you ever thought of getting a well-known softball player to kind of endorse it, or kind of to try it out, or maybe doing something like that? Have you ever thought of that?
So yeah, we have done some research, and we have a couple of pitchers that have YouTube channels and stuff online that we could reach out to, and they could sponsor it. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You've obviously done your homework.
Thank you.
Susie?
Okay. Hi, Michaela. Congratulations. Great job. So you have been asking basically a focus group on what they thought of the product. And it sounds like you've gotten great feedback. Do you intend to do more focus group testing for some more games coming up?
Yeah, probably. My coaches have been bugging me ever since I made it to bring it to all of our games, but I never have until this past summer. So yeah.
Wonderful. I like the fact that you're testing it out to see how much people are liking it. So good job.
Thank you.
Michaela, that's a great idea. Sometimes you find problems and needs when other people are not aware. And this that's really important, like focusing on those specific applications. Now that you have done that testing and try it out in the field, have any ideas pop to your head on any improvements or any modifications that you would like to do?
Well, when we first did it, it was almost like kind of like we actually used it on turf, and it was kind of like teeter-tottering when we used it. So maybe we could like maybe balance it more. So yeah.
Does it need to be that wide, or is just for is there a reason for that, those dimensions?
Yeah, so we actually bought like a standard pitcher's mound, and we kind of like, there's wood here. We kind of measured out the wood to be the same size as the pitcher's mound, so it would be the same exact size.
I get it. Thank you very much for your answers.
Thank you.
We have about 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Any of the judges have additional questions? If not, I'll allow students to ask questions. Warren, you can ask.
So with the, I can't help myself, sorry.
It's okay.
So Michaela, have you tried different, like for the actual apparatus itself, have you tried different shapes of it? Like I noticed you had like round and rectangular. Like, was there any reason for going to like the way it works? Is there a shape you've decided on?
No, not really. It's just like for the color coded marks on the string, we just wanted to like mix it up. So.
Oh yeah, cool. Yep, thank you.
And then also I might bring this up if I still have time. It would probably be like $15 to $35 to make, but I like a couple of months ago I called Dick's like softball and baseball manager, and I asked him how much he would probably sell it for, and he said since it's about an advanced product, he would sell it for like $75 to $100, but I was thinking maybe I'd sell it for like $50 to $75 if I were ever to make it like a actual thing.
Okay, we'll have to stop there, Michaela. Excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Answer buttons. Dayra, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, you can go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Let me go back.
If you're having trouble with it moving, you might unshare your screen and then reshare. Sometimes that will clear a problem.
Answer buttons version 2.0 by Dairailit González Piñón from Mexico. The next one. Sorry, this is not working. I don't know why, but let me see. Oh yeah, the second one. What is Answer Bottoms? Answer Bottoms is a project that I made for my school, and the idea is to solve the problem of the unfair participation in classroom of schools. Who is my customer? I have a special market to sell it, and my customers will be principals and owners of schools. And the next one. The final user. I make this for the kids, and probably you're thinking why. Well, normally the things don't want to participate in classes, and the majority is because it's boring and unfair that the first that raise the hand talk. Other products in the market. In the market, it's one product named Me First, and it's the same idea, but the difference is the price. My product costs $100, and Me First costs $275, and is connected through Bluetooth and use batteries. And my product is made of cables and is connected to power LED. The opinions in fact were good. They say that it's innovator, fair, dynamic, and funny. My school was very happy with the product and used it to a knowledge fair. Another school told me that the project was very, very good. And guess what? I already sold the first product to a principal of an elementary school in my city, and it's going to be used in different grades. Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Wow, you got done really fast. We have about 40 seconds left, so we can start with questions.
Yes, I have a question. Well, first of all, congratulations, Daira, muy bien. I still remember version 1.
Yes.
And well, it seems that there has been like a lot of progress here. What you already sold one. Would you be ready? Or what would it take to provide? Because the word spreads fast with teachers. So there might be like other teachers like asking for more. So are you prepared to actually provide them with products?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because I can do it, but it needs a lot of time. Yes, I will do it, but in with more time. Do you understand me?
Yes. And this provides an opportunity. Maybe you need to figure out a way to put them together fast.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. You too.
Susie?
That was
Oh, I'm sorry, Warren. Go ahead. My fault.
thank you. Daira, that was a wonderful presentation, and congratulations on what you've done already, getting your product out into the marketplace. But my question is, well, actually, so you make them yourself?
Can you repeat?
Do you make them? Are you the person who makes them? Do you make them yourself?
I don't understand very good.
Que tú eres la que los hace.
Yes, I'm the one that I do it and I program.
Thank you, Wachiro, for translating that. Do you have anyone else who can help you manufacture them or make them? Is there someone else, like friends, who can help you out?
The one that helped me is my dad, and sometimes that I have problems, he go with me and help me. He's like my coach.
So actually, thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful. So thank you very much, Daira.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think I'm up. Great idea to get kids to participate. I think that's wonderful because you're right. Sometimes they get sleepy in class, and so it's good to keep them ready to push their button. So I like the idea. I do have a question. So without giving me how it's made, my question is, how do these stay powered? And I don't want a lot of detail except for, you can tell me if there's a battery or not, maybe. That way you can at least, how do they stay? Arturo, you might have to translate this one.
Sí, la pregunta es que cómo se mantiene encendido.
Yeah. It's connected by an outlet.
Outlet.
Okay.
Okay, I
Outlet.
understand. Yes, yes. Okay, great, great. Thank you for answering that. I was just curious how they worked.
Yes. And do you have another question or a comment?
I have one very fast if there's time. I can see that there are like 4 buttons. Like, is there extensible? Like, can you add like more if there's a like larger group, or is this just 4?
No, they can be 12 buttons because they are the ground. Yes, they can be 12, but this version is like for teams, because that's what my school told me
Yeah. Okay.
to do.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank
We have
you.
about 45 seconds left over. If anybody else has a question or a comment.
One more question. Does each kid get a button, or it's in a group? Because I'm still not sure.
Yes, in my school they do 4 groups.
4 groups. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wonderful job, Dayra. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, we are on to the dialects with Tasha, Seth, and Samantha. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we are.
All right, whenever you're ready to start your presentation, I'll start the timer.
Can it be seen?
Yep.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna start now.
Okay.
Okay. Textile dyeing contributes to 54% of dye pollution in the world and 20% of the world total water pollution. It increases the biochemical and chemical oxygen demand levels in water, hindering photosynthesis and growth in aquatic plants. It's toxic, carcinogenic, and can induce genetic mutation. These could be mitigated by treating dye wastewater before disposal. However, conventional methods for treating it come with their own challenges. They're time-consuming, resource-intensive, expensive, and rely on environmentally harmful chemicals and materials. Good day, everyone. My name is Seth.
I'm Tasha.
And I'm Sam from Montessori de Manila, Philippines. And
And
together, we are the
diehards.
And we created an invention that can help solve these problems. This is the Dye-less. The Dye-less is a sustainable and cost-effective dye wastewater treatment system that uses waste paper as the primary adsorbent material in the column assembly for maximum efficiency. As you can see, we made different prototype models these past few months. Our first physical model was the WIS model, and our current one is the adsorption column assembly.
So we consulted different professionals in the field. One of them was a chemical engineer who specializes in sustainable waste management. And we also talked to government workers from the Philippine Textile Research Institute. So for the timeline, as you can see, this month, we made the adsorption column assembly on a larger scale. By November 2023, the Dye-less will be fully functional and tested by DNR. By January 2024, based on the lab tests we receive, we will improve and the medium and design. And by September 2024, we plan to use this as our thesis project so that we can further enhance and do more research on it. By 2025, there could be a possible collaboration with PTRI. So here's how it works. A water pump ensures a continuous flow of dye wastewater through the tubing and adsorption columns. As the wastewater passes through the adsorption columns, it saturates the adsorption medium and gradually loses color. This is because the dye particles are transferring from the water onto the surface of the medium. Once the dye wastewater exits the column assembly, it comes out clear and colorless.
This water can now be reused in the dyeing process, either as vat water, water to clean the machineries, or water to wash the dyed textile.
30 seconds.
Treating and reusing the wastewater can be done multiple times in order to reduce water consumption.
Our primary adsorbent medium can be utilized as composite materials, remanufactured into paper or other forms of packaging, and processed into eco-friendly fuel briquettes. Now, if you want to help change the world for the better, choose the Dyless. Cleaner waters and fewer messes.
Thank you.
That's all.
Very good timing. Okay. We're ready to start with the judges' questions.
Well, first of all, congratulations on this. I didn't realize that this was an issue, so thank you for the education. I really liked how much thought has gone into this and the research and the multiple prototypes and your timeline, the fact that you have a timeline and you have a potential partner, great job. My only question is, after it goes through these multiple filtration, you have water at the end, and then you also have, are the briquettes here?
Yes.
So you have a plan for the use of the water and the briquettes so that they're pretty clean so that they can be reused. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, great job. Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well.
Okay, good job, guys. Really interesting. I'm a chemical engineer, so I love the terms. I love the theory that you put behind it. And I think this is a very, very interesting approach. Like Susie said, like many people may not be aware that this could be a problem. My question is the following. In the medium that you're expecting to maybe put some improvements, what characteristics does it need to have? Or can you use like any material for filtration or any quality of that paper in there?
We're focusing on cellulose, yeah, mostly paper, but we're going to try out different mediums as well, such as cardboard. So it could be compatible with other things as well. Tasha, if you want to add something.
So the current characteristics that we're looking for, the waste paper needs to have a certain GSM, because some types of waste paper, like
they break down
too quickly. Like you can't use toilet paper, you can't use like the thin types of newspaper, I think that's what you call it. So we need like thicker and more adsorbent materials for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful presentation. I must admit, I'm not a chemical engineer, so a lot of the process I didn't really understand, and it wasn't because of your presentation. It was just because it's kind of not the way I understand it. But I have a couple of questions. One is with the paper, so you can only use certain weights of paper, so the paper needs to be sorted before it comes into your process. Is that correct?
Yes. Especially
All
since it's waste paper, some of the materials or inks, for example, you can't use paper with acrylic paint on it, because that would hinder the process. Since acrylic paint is plasticky, we need ones that have wood paper on it.
Yep. Actually, that leads into my next question, is that like, I know with catalogs and printed paper, some printed paper is really highly like water, like it absorbs water, and then you get other like really high gloss prints or paper with high gloss prints on it, and it seems to be a different kind of print that's not really water soluble. So the type of print on the paper, does that make a difference? Like a really high gloss for color print as compared to, say, a newspaper that may just have a colored print in it. Does that make a difference to your process?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Because the high gloss paper, it's been treated so that it's like it has a film on it.
So like
So
there's plastic
there's
already.
plastic already on it. So we can't use that in our as an absorption medium.
Okay. Actually, thank you. You've educated me you've educated me a bit more on paper and process. I understand. So before it goes into your process, there needs to be some sort of sorting.
Yes.
Some way of sorting it first. Like, have you thought of how they would sort it? Have you thought of how they would do that? Or do people do that already?
Well, in our country, like junk shops, they do sort the paper. However, mostly what they use are cardboard paper and newspaper. So
Because it's the most common type of paper you typically use in like an office situation, like in schools or like in your work. We typically already use these types of papers, so they're already the most common.
The sources could be like offices and schools, since we use a lot of paper. So instead of just throwing in the trash, I think you can just place in like a designated box so that we could collect it and donate it.
the paper that we actually
Thank you, guys. We have to stop there, though. You've gone over just a few seconds, but I appreciate your patience with me. And I've got to say, Warren, for somebody who didn't know any questions to ask because he didn't understand it, you did a fabulous job of finding great questions to ask. So, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam and Seth and Tasha, for the great presentation. And we are on our last presentation now, and it is the PAU by Aditi. So Aditi, whenever you are ready to share your screen, I'll start the timer for your 3-minute presentation.
Hello, is my sound good?
The sound is good.
All right. Is my screen visible?
It's coming, there it is, okay.
Okay, can you tell me if there's a lag when I change?
Real slight.
Okay.
Real slight lag.
Okay, I just need to know that. All right. I'll begin then.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aditi Mishra, and I'd like you to join me today as I introduce the PAL, a revolution in modern prosthetics. To understand the potential of the PAL, we must first cover the pressing issues in modern powered prosthetic technology. In 2017, 57.7 million people suffered from some sort of limb loss, and that number has only grown. Despite this, there is an overall severe lack of accessibility, fueled by two key issues: uber high costs and high power consumption. You see the numbers on screen. Families looking for high-end, robust prosthetics must be prepared to spend a fortune on the prosthetic alone, with countless more spent on maintenance and doctor visits. The real kicker is when all this money is spent on a device whose battery duration only averages about 4 hours a day. Imagine that, $30K USD for 4 hours of walking normally. I would not pay for that personally. These two factors are huge deterrents for amputees, which leads to a significant decrease in quality of life. Here's where the PAL comes in. The PAL turns conventional joint actuation on its head entirely by employing a spent fluidic servo actuator, or SFSA, which uses an external gear pump to drive two cylinders that move opposite to each other. The piston motion is used to rotate a pulley, which directly acts as the ankle. By using fluidic power, the actuator bypasses the large, power-hungry motors used typically, but still utilizes the precise controls motors allow for. Despite using fluids, there is no exposed ceiling, no outside reservoir, and no tubing. Everything is contained in the design's housing, and the fluid is simply circulated between two chambers. This makes the design streamlined and lightweight. Joint position is controlled by a custom-made closed-loop PID position controller with a less than 35 millisecond response time and less than 0.5 degree position error, allowing for minute changes in position instantaneously. The motor in the PAL runs at higher speeds but lower torque, which means less overall current draw from the battery. The PAL's design is also incredibly 3D printer friendly, severely lowering costs and simultaneously allowing for easy scalability. The PAL grows with you hassle-free, which is perfect for pediatrics. The specialty of the SFSA is the ability to provide a complete prosthetic through integration of human sensing for environment adaptability. This gives users the freedom to walk wherever they want with whatever shoes they want, a freedom that we usually take for granted. Here we can see a comparison of the PAL with a standardized prosthetic developed by UMichigan, as well as an actual human ankle. This comparison clearly proves the PAL is competitive with industry standards in numerous aspects, with the potential to exceed them as well. Just look at the price difference. And PAL is able to meet and exceed the torque requirements of human ankles as well. And the current prototype speed is 55 degrees per second with a closed loop control. The goal speed
30
is
seconds.
60 degrees. Now, who is affected? The PAL's impact scope is small but absolute. Innovation in this sector guarantees affecting every possible consumer of the technology because the need for better options is constant but unadjusted. The PAL is able to present a very real and very worthwhile opportunity for researchers and users alike, and has the potential to completely revolutionize prosthetic technology, commercial and otherwise, as we know it. My name is Aditi, and thank you for your time.
Good timing. All right, we can start with our judge.
Yeah, Aditi, I have followed your project. I know that you have been working on it like for about 3 years now. It's shaping great. I am actually like, and honestly, I'm really interested in your SFSA approach. The antagonistic cylinder is a brilliant idea. My question here is, have you done like more testing? Have you determined the torque and operation parameters? Like, so is it capable of withstanding the necessary mechanical stress for walking?
So I haven't done clinical testing, so I haven't actually put it on someone who is an amputee because that's a whole different ballgame. But I have done like stall tests for the actual toe measuring torque from this point, and it is able to be. And so the requirement for the ankle joint is 47 Newton meters. It's able to go above that easily.
Great, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. That was a wonderful presentation. But again, it was, to be honest, it was a little out of my league. I don't quite understand the well, I understand the theory behind it, but as far as the
I'll walk you through
it, it's a little out of my. But there's two things that really do interest me. One is that when do you think you could have some trials out on people like amputees? When do you think that would likely take place?
Been reaching out to local hospitals. It's a difficult process because you have to find someone with the type of amputation that I can test this on. They have to be willing, stuff like that. The hospitals have to be willing. So I'm currently in the process of reaching out. There's more refinements I'm doing from my end as well. So this is constantly evolving. But yeah, that's definitely in the plans for the future.
Oh, if you ever thought, like, if I was an amputee, have you ever thought of just like advertising in a newspaper or just advertising for people not going through the medical system? Because I know if I was an amputee, I'd go, wow, I would kind of be willing to give this a shot or to try it out. Have you ever thought about that, or is that a feasibility?
Well, so because of the way things when it comes to medicine work, typical forms of advertising isn't usually as easy to do because there's issues with like confidentiality and whatnot. And also,
yeah, I get you.
It's easier to sort through resources if you first contact a health professional and then have them recommend patients as opposed to reaching out to patients themselves. Because health professionals will also tell you where to find the equipment to measure the things I need to look for. So a lot of prosthetic testing in general requires a lot of specialized equipment that's not readily available. I've had to kind of do it, DIY it very, very vaguely in my basement. Yeah. So
I absolutely understand. And just a quick question. Sorry, Susie, if I'm taking your time, but why does it interest you? Why do what you do?
I actually, wait, I want to share my screen again. never mind. I closed the presentation. But on my first slide, I wrote make science fiction real. And the story behind that is when I was in 7th grade, I watched a TV show. It was like a reboot of a very popular kids show called Voltron. You may have heard of it. And there was a character there who had this really cool prosthetic arm. And my mind at that moment was like, why don't we, like, what's preventing us from reaching that like standard? And that kind of led to a rabbit hole of Googling,
minute.
and then yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Wow, thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, yours, Susie.
Thank you. Great job. I love the fact that you have this path of, you know, the next step that needs to happen and the next step. And but I do have a question for you.
Mhm.
Because of the hydraulic component to this, can you envision someone using this to run versus just walk?
No, well, okay. So when it comes to daily use prosthetics, those are the ones that are usually mechanized. So there's motors involved in those ones. You're not meant to like full on sprint in those, period, because it's not worth it to use so much power to power this when you're running, because there's a lot. When it comes to athletes, you'll see like Paralympics, like sprinters and whatnot.
I've
They
seen
have
that.
like the hooked ones. Those are a lot better because they're lighter, and they're better for sprinting because they give a lot more return energy, which is not something you're concerned about when it comes to daily use. So it's a whole different type of movement that is not suited for power prosthetics, period.
And we're gonna have to wrap it up right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Great
Good
job,
job.
Aditi.
Thank you.
All right. We have 6 minutes left before the judges and I have to leave to the deliberation. So I want to open this time up for judges just to give their thoughts and comments overall on what they've seen tonight, and just any words of inspiration that they would like to share with you. And Warren, we're not going to start with you. We're going to end with you because you have 7-part questions. Very good questions, though. Susie, how about we start with you?
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations to all of you. Just to get here, it has been a long road. All of you have taken situations that you find interesting, that are a problem for you, and you found solutions. And that is what innovating is. So bravo on that. As far as where do you go from here? Keep inventing, make modifications to your products. I mean, we're going to provide feedback, so listen to what we provide and then make modifications and continue on your path. You all have great ideas, and keep making modifications until you're ready to take it to the next step. So congratulations to all of you. I'm really proud of all of you.
Arturo.
Yes, I also want to join the congratulations to all of you. I want you to be aware of the tremendous opportunities that you are capable of opening to yourselves. Your potential to transform, your potential to change, your potential to create. You have like these big ideas and these big products, and I trust that you will evolve them and eventually when you get them out to the market or bring a new thing to the market, like Susie said, like keep inventing, keep doing your stuff because you're great at doing it, and help others join in, and because this is, even though you're so young, you're already like leaving a legacy on all of this awesome stuff that you're doing. I hope that I can be in contact with you to help you or to listen to your ideas. That would be great. And eventually, if you need like someone to represent you when you're famous, like give me a call and I will represent you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Arturo. Represent you when you're famous. That's I love that. And like honestly, I haven't got excuse me, I haven't got the words to describe how honored I am to listen to all your kids. And part of that is because you care so much about the people and the cause that you're prepared to devote all this time and effort into providing a solution to it. And very rarely do I see that. So what I see that really works for all of you is that you're truly engaging, and because you care and you tell your story so well, you've done your work, you've done your homework, you had an idea and you've made it work. I think that the next step truly is to find people who have the resources that you need to get your ideas out into the marketplace. And my only encouragement is to keep speaking with people and to try and find the people that you need, because I know my success came not because I was that smart and not because I had ideas, and I was nowhere near as smart as you kids, to be honest, and my ideas weren't as great as some of yours, but I was persistent and I kept on asking people until I built the team and built the people that I needed. And that's what I see about you kids, is just to keep on going, because I can't see why you won't be successful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Very good. Hard to follow those words, Warren, but I will try. Again, congratulations to all of you students. The judges and I are going to leave. Ting, are you able to turn your camera on?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
hi,
Wonderful. This is Ting. She's from China. She's one of the Global Innovation Field Trip team members and a wonderful, inspirational program leader in her own country. So she is going, when I'm finished and myself and Lauren and Arturo and Susie drop off, she'll demote you guys back to attendees. Feel free to keep watching. In fact, we encourage you to watch the program as much as you can. It lasts for another 12, 15 hours. So watch as much as you can. In the meantime, I just want to let you know that a reminder, on Sunday the 22nd will be the awards ceremony. We hope you will all join and watch, and you'll receive more information about that in email, and there'll be information on the eventfuture.global website as well. Thank you for your wonderful innovations and for sharing them with us, especially. You guys are wonderful.